Design center, a flow in which a parallel for each component is used. The rounded rectangles are cards. Here you can see this diagram represent a flow in which the parallel for each component is used. The rounded rectangles are cards. The parallel for each component is for processing each element in a collection and then passing the result to the next card in the flow. A card passes a payload of a flow to the parallel for each component. The payload consists of a collection of elements. A parallel for each component divide the collection into separate elements. It sends elements simultaneously to the first component, connector or module that in its scope. You can specify maximum number of elements to process at a time. Each element is treated as a payload within the scope. So if a connection within the scope is configured to act on payload or use a script to process payload, the payload is not the payload that the parallel for each component received, but the element that the component is processing. After all the element is processed, the parallel for each component aggregates and passes the result of the processing that was done within its scope. The results from the payload that is passed to the next card in the flow. The next card in the flow receives the result from the parallel for each component and the flow continues. Here the card is connected to parallel for each component via payload, and parallel for each component is connected to other card via parallel inner scope payloads. And here then the parallel for each component is connected to the next card via payload. Here the parallel for each component and this card are in the scope for the parallel for each component. Now this is the end of my presentation. Thank you very much for watching it.